So the question we got today was, how do we get started with losing weight? And I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. I think first, seeing a physician and seeing exactly what your issues may be first. Getting that physical gives you a baseline as to where you are, what you should do, gives you a directive.
And it can give you that permission and that reassurance that if you start out on an exercise program, you're not going to suddenly have angina or worse.
Exactly.
And so it gives you much more confidence to go out and work out or buy some fitness equipment because you know you're going to get good use out of it.
Exactly. I mean, so many people start and then they start without getting a physical. And then start working out, something goes wrong, and then they wonder, what's wrong with me? And then they delay because they're so nervous to go to the doctor, especially men. I know, guys, you got to go get a physical. I mean, at least once a year. Stop being a chicken. You got to go. You got to get checked out just to get the directive that you can work out, that you got a clean bill of health, and then get started. I mean, don't delay.
So you go to your doctor every year? Right. That was
I do.
Oh,
I do. I do. My doctor calls me and says it's time for you to come in.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good.
So you get summoned. Yeah.
You better go.
And I think it depends, though. If someone's young and in reasonable health, then not necessarily every year.
But you know what? You take it for granted because you never know what could be hiding.
I think once you hit 40, you should know what your blood pressure is. You should know what your cholesterol is. And be tracking yourself because it's that feedback that gives you either a cause for concern and motivates you to get out there.
Absolutely.
Or you can say, okay, I'm doing some things right. I need to get better though. So what are we going to do? We're thinking about exercise. Clearly, we've been to the doctor for our checkup, and we've got the all clear.
You got the clear bill of health, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is start getting active. You have the gear, find a program. I mean, may it be going to a gym. Just start with getting on the treadmill, walking, seeing how you feel. Get a pair of shoes and start walking. If you feel really good, you can pick up your jogging at the time. Definitely incorporate some weights. I mean, the last thing you want to do is just work out pure body weight. I know we demo some exercises with body weight, but use some weights. Build that muscle. Change your body composition. Encourage your body to burn the fat, not only when you're in the gym, but when you leave the gym. So just get started. You got to. You have to.
Yeah, and so the muscle strengthening, and you can do it even without weights, can't you? You can do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, press-ups.
Anything that makes you work, you're working.
And you're using your body weight as your weight.
Right.
If you want to get started just with that. But I must say, having weights does make it easier.
It makes you work. You earn that sweat mark.
Yeah.
I love the sweat mark.
The sweat mark, yeah.
So if you got questions...
Us girlies don't like sweat marks.
You don't like the sweat mark?
No, we glow, we don't sweat.
I think you just pour the water on you just to get the sweat mark.
And then we want to think about breakfast. Breakfast is really important.
Absolutely.
And because we know that people who skip breakfast are much more likely to be overweight.
Yeah. I know a lot of folks who are skipping and end up binging at the end of the day.
Exactly, because you don't make the wise choices.
Right. So Dr. Kim was right. Eat that nice healthy breakfast, and then hopefully toward the end of the day you can have a small meal, and you'll still be satiated because it balances out.
Right. Yeah. And then lunch, just make breakfast your fruit meal. Yeah. Because as he said, What fruits
would you recommend?
If I talk personally, I like a banana to sweeten my breakfast so that I don't have to add sugar. So I have banana and perhaps a very small amount of maybe about 20 raisins. That would just add some sweetness. And then an apple and a pear, or an apple and a couple of plums, or something like that. That's a pretty big bulk actually. And then I throw in maybe a quarter cup of granola or a half a cup of
need to have breakfast by you.
Huh?
Need to have breakfast by you.
And then I throw in about six or eight almonds or walnuts or pecans. So there I've got some healthy fats and some yogurt. Because I've got the probiotics and some fat there. Some good. Sweetness so that I'm not going to go hunting down a sweet treat.
Yeah.
That's given my taste buds their little zing for the day.
Yeah.
And that breakfast carries me through for 6-7 hours.
What? So you don't eat again 6-7 hours? That's pretty good.
And I find 2 meals a day is a great way to control weight. So, yeah, eat on the way to work and then eat middle of the afternoon. Depends if you get consigned at lunchtime.
Do you work? I mean, are you moving throughout the day? Are you moving a lot?
Yeah.
I tend to use my lunch break to do some type of physical fitness.
Right.
So then I would start with some oatmeal, a whole lot of blueberries. I love agave, so I throw that in there. A little bit of almonds, and I'm definitely a granola person. So that in itself, low glycemic index, the fiber keeps me full, and the agave just tastes good. So
one thing about granola is you take a quarter cup of oats and you turn it into oatmeal. It's big.
This one expands.
Whereas granola, it's a concentrated food, so you really want to watch portion size and don't have. I mean, someone like you working out a lot, but someone who's not working out a lot, they're just starting on an exercise program, they need to lose weight. I'd say stick to a quarter, a third of a cup.
You heard that? Small portions. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it.
Yeah, and actually use a measuring cup. Just throw it in your granola and just use it every morning. But that's a great way to start the day. Well, I hope that gives you lots of tips.
I hope so. If you have questions, feel free to send us messages on Facebook. I mean, this is another outlet for you, for us to interact with you, and we're looking forward to your questions, especially now and on the show. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye.